Welcome to Kids Church. We are going to start straight away this morning with a quick game. The game is hum a tune. I'm going to hum a tune. You're going to try and guess what it is. You're going to try and work out what it is. Are you ready? I'm actually going to la it. La 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 la. That's all you get. Do you know it? Next one. La 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 la. And one for the grown-ups. La 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 la. Na 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 na. That's it. Did you get all three? Now, there is a link between those three songs. So let me just go over which ones they were. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? From, of course, the fabulous Lion King. Love is an Open Door from, yes, correct, Frozen. And finally, I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Love is all around us. The original Wet, Wet, Wet version, obviously you might know it from Love Actually, when they sing Christmas is all around, but it's actually Love is all around you, or us, whatever, from the Wet, Wet, Wet version. So what's the link? Have you got it? Have you guessed it? Have you worked it out? It is, of course, love. Now, maybe you'd like to pause and have a quick game of hum a tune yourself. You don't have to limit yourself to songs that have love in the title, because you might struggle to come up with those. Although actually there are loads of songs with love in the title, because love is one of those things that people love to talk about, to write songs about, to write poetry about, to write books about. We love. So there's loads of stuff out there. So play hum a tune and then come back and we're going to sing another song about love. Okay, we're going to sing you a song. We'd love you to join in with it. It's one that we've done before. It's called Love. Well, is it called Love? The golden rule is love. It goes like this. God said to us, the golden rule is love. And so we love one another like he loved us. Feel free to make some actions up around this. And then we're going to go, we're going to love one another. Oh, we're going to love like him. Love. Love is the greatest. Love is the highest. Love is the way of Jesus. Love is the greatest. Love is the highest. Love is the way. We're going to love one another. Oh, we're going to love like him. Okay, so you'll pick it up. Ready? God said to us, the golden rule is love, and so we love one another like he loved us. God said to us, the golden rule is love, and so we love one another like he loved us. And so we love one another. Oh, we're gonna love like him. And so we love one another. Oh, we're gonna love like him. Got it? We'll do it all again. God said to us, the golden rule is love, and so we love one another like he We're thinking today about love. We've thought about some songs that talk about love. We've sung a song about love, haven't we? I wonder what you think about love. What do you think about it? What do you think it is? What do you love? Have a quick discussion with those around you about that. And then we're going to hear what Jesus says in our reading today about love. Now, as usual, it is a little bit surprising. But before we do that, just quick thinking. What do you think about love? Emily, have you got anything to say about love? What do you love?
I love my family.
Ah, yes.
I love Morty.
Mm-hmm. We all love Mordy. Yeah. Good. So, what do you love? Talk about that, and then come back, and Emily's going to read to us from the Bible about what Jesus says. Okay, so Emily's going to read to us from Matthew's Gospel. So we're back in Matthew, and it's chapter 5, verse 43, if you want to follow along.
You have heard that it was said, love your neighbour and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. If you love those who love you, what reward will your own people
What do you get?
will you get? Are not even the tax collectors doing that? And if you greet only your own people, what are you doing more than others? Do not even pagans do that? Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect.
Thanks, Emily. Well done. Good reading. So, what was the surprising thing in that about love? Who does Jesus tell us to love? Did you pick up on that?
He said, "Love your enemies and
Oh.
pray for the people who persecute you."
That's right. And those are funny words, aren't they? Enemies and people who persecute you. I don't know about you, Emily, but I don't think I've got any enemies. And I don't really think that many people persecute me. There are people in the world who are persecuted for their faith, but I'm not sure I'm really one of them. So I wonder what Jesus means when he says, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. I don't think this is just a passage for people who've got enemies. I think this is a passage for anybody. I think this is a passage that says love has got no limits. So this isn't a kind of slushy romantic love, is it? And in fact, he says that. If you love those who love you, well, everybody does that. It's easy to love the people that love you. It's easy to love the people that are really nice to you. It's easy to love, nice snuggly dogs because they're cute, isn't it? We can all do that. We all do that really, really well. But Jesus says, love your enemies. Love without limits. So I want you to imagine a scene where maybe you're in the playground or even playing at home with siblings, brothers and sisters. I wonder if you've ever heard anybody say, I'm never going to play with you again. Or, you're not my friend anymore. Or, you're not coming to my party. Now, strictly speaking, we've probably all heard that, haven't we? And those people who say that, maybe it's even been you, aren't enemies. You're not enemies, are you? But still, it's not very nice. And sometimes we can all say things that aren't very nice, and sometimes people say things to us that aren't very nice. And the question is, how do we respond? Do we give back? Not very nice. Well, you're not my friend either. I don't like you either. Never going to play with you again. I don't care. Or do we do like Jesus says, give back love, even when people aren't very nice to us? So when we hear love your enemies, we don't necessarily need to think, well, I'm thinking about people that are like really actually my enemies. I'm thinking, how do I love even when people annoy me, even when people are mean to me, even when people leave me out, even when people look at me funny? How do I love my brother when he's like just kicked me? How do I love my best friend when they've just said, I'm not playing with you today because I don't like you or think you're stupid? How do we give back love when other people give us rubbish? We're going to pause for a quick game. Okay, time for another game. Me and Emily are going to play the mirror game, where I'm going to do a series of actions and Emily is going to try and copy me exactly like I was a mirror. Wait, yeah, like she's a mirror. So I'm going to do some actions. She's going to try and mirror me perfectly, all right? And then we're going to swap over. You ready, Emily? Okay, ready? Good job. Okay, that was Emily. Now she's going to be doing the actions. I'm going to try and mirror her. Go for it, Ems. Great. Over to you. Have a go. Swap round. See if you can be perfect mirrors. I wonder why we just did that mirror game. Well, at the end of our reading today, Jesus said something, again, quite challenging. He said, be perfect, therefore, as your Heavenly Father is perfect. Now, if you were like me and you were playing that mirror game, you will have found it hard, probably, to copy perfectly. It's hard to be perfect, isn't it? Even when someone's right in front of you, demonstrating how to be. Jesus says, be like your Father in heaven. Be just like him. That's a bit difficult, isn't it, Emily? Do you think that's quite hard? I think that's quite hard. But let me say this. Number one, Jesus sets us a great example of love, of loving our enemies, because he's the one that goes to the cross for people that hate him. I mean, they really hated him. They really persecuted him. They really were his enemies because they wanted to kill him. So Jesus demonstrates to us, this is what love is like. It's not slushy, it's hard. It's sacrificial, and it can be painful. But also, he tells us, do you remember 2 weeks ago we read, blessed are the poor in spirit? Do you remember that? For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the ones that say, Lord, help me. I can't do this on my own. Blessed are the ones that say, I can't do this. I can't be perfect. Please, will you help me? And Jesus says, yes, I will. I do want to help you. So be encouraged. He sets us a brilliant example. He shows us what it's like to love even when it's difficult. And then he says, and I'm going to help you do it. So what I'd like you to do now is have a little chat and a think, perhaps, about whether or not there's anybody in your life that you find really hard to love, or a situation where you think, oh, this is really difficult because somebody's being mean to me, or maybe in the past somebody's not been very nice to you. Can you ask God to change what's going on in your heart so that you can begin to feel love towards that person, or act love towards that person? And Jesus gives you quite a good helping hand here. He gives you an idea as to how you might begin to do that. He says, pray for those who persecute you. So, in a moment, we're going to do a little craft that's going to help us with that. But first of all, maybe just think about that. Is there somebody that I could pray for? Because actually, when you pray for somebody, you're praying for their best interests. You're bringing them to God and saying, Lord, I want the best for this person. And that's a great place to start when you're trying to love somebody. Lord, I'm going to bring this person to you, even though they've been mean to me, and I'm going to ask you to help me love them. And I'm going to pray for their best interests. And I'm going to show you a little craft in just a moment that's going to help us with that. Okay, Emily and I are making yarn hearts now as a way of remembering to love without limits. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a cardboard heart, make a little hole in the top and thread your yarn through so you've got something to hang it with. Then take the end of your yarn. You can use wool or string or whatever, wool or string probably. And then you need to basically just hold on to one edge of it, maybe slide it through there, and you wanna wrap your yarn in all directions around your heart, okay? so that it's completely covered, and they just end up looking really, really pretty. Okay, so there's no kind of, doesn't need to be done in any sort of particularly neat order. You can just go, look, Emily's done one already. Here's one we made earlier. You just go in all directions, and then when it's finished, try and tuck your thread in so that you can't see it, and you'll be able to hang it using that little bit of extra hanging yarn there. And that will help you to remember to pray for other people, particularly if it's somebody that you find difficult to love. Praying for people is quite a good way of helping to love them. And also maybe asking God to help you and your heart when people say things that aren't very nice or make you feel a bit left out. Lord, please will you help me to be loving and kind, to meet meanness with love, like you have shown us how to do. So enjoy doing that, and thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next week.